Hello, happy Friday. Welcome to Functional Fitness Friday. And kind of breathing. It is our last class of 2022. So looking forward to these weeks of rest. So hopefully we'll all be able to get some rest after this. But today we are going to be doing a quick circuit here. We're going to do 3 rounds, 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest/transition time. For today, we do need one dumbbell or something weighted that you can hold in your hand. We are going to be doing a little bit more weighted stuff today. So if you have that, great. If not, no problem. You can do it without anything to hold onto. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to do a quick demo and we're going to get right into it. So for today, we're starting off with a Bulgarian split squat or a rear foot elevated split squat. So you're going to need something to put your back foot on as well. Actually turn this. So if you do have one dumbbell or something weighted to hold on to, you're going to hold it in the opposite hand of the leg that you're using. So I'm going to start with my left leg. We're going to raise our other leg behind us. Get close enough here. There we go. And then we're going to come down, knee over the second toe and pushing through the ground. So we're gonna feel that one mainly in our glutes and our hamstrings. So we're gonna do all on one side and then again switching, so holding on the opposite hand. Again, if you don't have anything to either lift your foot on or a weight, no problem. If you don't have anything to elevate, you can do a regular split squat there. So that's gonna be our first two movements. So we're doing all on one leg and then all on the other leg. And then for our other two movements here, we're going to be doing a half get up here. So for that, we're going to start off on the ground, on our backs, feet on the ground. We're going to have our dumbbell in one hand here, and our other arm is going to be out to the side. We're going to lean up until we're on our elbow, hand towards the ceiling, and back down. So here, our upper body is all the way on the ground. We're using our core coming up, reaching as far as we can, and back down. So we're, like I said, we're going to do all on one side and then coming up to the other side. So if you do not have a weight or anything weighted to hold on to, no problem. You can do that with just your arm reaching up. So that's that option. And then I don't know why I'm getting up because our last movement here, my favorite, we're going to do some glute bridge marches. So tucking our pelvis, hips towards the ceiling, one knee at a time coming up, exhaling as we drive our knee. So that is going to be our whole workout for today. So we're going to go ahead and stand on up for our warm up. And we're going to start off with the world's greatest stretch. So when we're ready, we're going to be in the top of our space. We're going to go ahead, interlace our fingers, grab onto one of our knees, pulling our knee towards our chest. And we're going to go ahead and exhale, step back, reverse lunge, hands coming down on the inside of our front foot, keeping our back leg nice and straight. We're going to go ahead and exhale, rotating, opening up towards the ceiling, looking past our hand, thumb facing our spine, so we're looking at our palm. And we're going to go ahead, exhale, plant our hand outside of our front foot, bring our back foot a little bit closer and push ourselves up into our hamstring stretch. Nice, big, deep breath. And we're going to exhale, bring our feet together, push the ground away, and stand on up. All right. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So interlace our fingers, grabbing onto our opposite knee, pulling towards our chest. And exhaling, stepping back, reverse lunge, hands coming down on the inside of our front foot. Back leg stays nice and straight. And we're going to exhale, opening up towards the ceiling. Thumb is facing our spine, looking at our palm. And we're going to go ahead, exhale, plant our hand outside of our back leg. Sorry, outside of our front leg, bring our back foot a little bit closer, pushing our hips up into our hamstring stretch. And we can go ahead and exhale, bring our feet together, push the ground away, and stand on up. All right. Last part of our warm-up here, we're going to go ahead and get on the ground on our hands and knees for a little bit of some reach through and rotation here. So hands underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips, keeping our pelvis tucked so our back is nice and flat. We're going to take one hand, we're going to inhale, reach through, and exhale, opening up, and inhaling, reaching through, and exhale, opening up, And last one, reaching through and opening up. And go ahead and bring our hand back up underneath our shoulder and do the same thing on the other side. Inhaling, reaching through. Exhale, opening up. Inhale, reach through. Exhale, opening up. And last one, reaching through and opening up. And we can go ahead and bring our hand back up underneath our shoulder and find our way up onto our feet. So whatever's the easiest way for you to do so. We are ready to rock and roll. So we are going to start off with our rear foot elevated split squats here. Move my camera up. So finding our place, grabbing our weight if we have it. 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. Getting the timer going here. 3, 2, 1, and go. So finding a good distance away from wherever you're elevating your foot. So I'm starting with my right foot here. My left leg is going to be up here. So if you need to have something to help you balance, you can always hold on to something, but we want to make sure we're not pulling ourselves up with our other hand. We really want to drive through our front leg. We want to keep our hips facing forward and making sure our foot is directly behind our hip. So it's too close, just like if we're doing lunges. We want to be like we're on a tightrope, not like we want to be like we're on railroad tracks. 3, 2, 1. All right. This is definitely a little too high for me, but that's okay. Making sure we have something, we want it to be really even with our knee here. So that's the goal. 3, 2, 1. And also making sure that our distance, so I'm going to put my foot back here because that feels a little bit better. Making sure our foot is not too far forward. We still want it to be really the same position as if we were doing a lunge or like a lateral squat, anything like that. We want the positioning to be the same. So if we're too far out, our knee can't come forward. So the goal, knee over the second toe, chest over the arch of our front foot. I'm definitely too close to the camera on this one. So let me just go back to my too high of a foot placement here. But finding what feels good for you. 3, 2, 1. All right. I'm going to go ahead. We're getting on the ground. Change my camera angle here. We're doing our half get ups here. 3, 2, 1. So we have both our feet on the ground, one hand in the air. Make sure I'm at a good angle here. And we're going to exhale, come up and back down. So we're mainly using our core, but this is one of those things that's going to help us strengthen our pillar, our shoulders and torso mainly. And then we're getting our hips and torso with the glute bridge marches. Coming up nice and slow and controlled, and same way down. Making sure we are activating our core, so breathing through our straw. Whoops, my foot came up. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're gonna get ready and do the same thing on the other side. So we primarily are gonna feel it more on the side of the core with the dumbbell on it. But it strengthens all of our core muscles here. 3, 2, 1. Which is also gonna help us be able to get up and down from the ground a little bit easier, which is always good to make sure we can do that. And this is probably the most we all get on the ground, to be honest. I'm not on the ground that often, except for when I'm teaching. So it's a good way to kind of strengthen all of that, making sure our body is moving strong through different portions, through different movements and different angles. Reaching up towards the ceiling. 3, 2, 1. All right. Setting our weight down, we have glute bridge marches, and now we're going to do that that same thing, that whole thing 2 more times before we breathe. 3, 2, 1. So breathing through our straw, butt to belly buttons. We have just that little space, like we have a grape sitting in between our low back and the ground, driving our heels through the ground here. Exhaling, bringing one knee up at a time. So this is not necessarily like a march as if we were marching like regularly to practice our running mechanics. We want it to be nice, slow, and controlled. Make sure we're not using our back. We're not letting our pelvis tilt here. Hips are towards the ceiling. Headlights on our hips are blinding the ceiling. Working on our glute and our core strength here. 3, 2, 1. All right. 1 down, 2 to go. Getting ready at the top for our rear foot elevated split squats. So starting with whichever foot you'd like. 3, 2, 1. Making sure we're holding the dumbbell in the opposite hand of the leg that we're using. So I'm starting with my right leg, which means that I'm holding the weight in my left hand. Finding again our good distance. We don't want to be too far out. If I'm out here, then it's not going to be much of a squat. I'm going to feel that stretch in my back leg versus being a little closer and driving through my heel. Well, really through the whole foot there. We're feeling it mainly in our, well, really honestly in all of our leg here. Let's be real. 3, 2, 1. This is like one of my least favorite movements, to be honest. It's really good for stability, single leg strength, as well as strengthening our glutes and our quads. 3, 2, 1. So again, finding our good distance, raising our opposite foot. We want to keep our toe flat on the bench. I find that if we do this and we have our toe flexed, we tend to push through that foot to get up versus only pushing through our front leg. So again, just like with like a reverse lunge, we're driving through our front foot. The front foot is our working leg. So we don't necessarily want to push through with our back foot. Like right now, I'm only using my left foot to stand back up. 3, 2, 1. All right. Give our legs a break for a second. Sitting on the ground again. We're laying on the ground. We have our half get-ups. So again, you can do all of this without a dumbbell. 3, 2, 1. So using whatever you have, you can always use, like a water bottle filled with water, of course. Or you can do like a book or holding it like flat on your palm if you can. Or if you have a dumbbell, perfect. Keeping it on the lighter side. We're working on our shoulder stability here as well. So our shoulders should be activated. We want to keep our wrists flat. When we bend our wrists, that puts an unnecessary strain. Our wrists are like that a lot during the day too. So we don't want to aggravate our wrists at all. So keeping our wrists as straight as we can. It's going to help us engage our shoulders a little bit better. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Same checklist here. We're exhaling, activating our core, bringing it all together. 3, 2, 1. Exhaling, coming up. Lowering down. I want us to even take a second at the bottom to make sure we're not using momentum. And we really want to relax our head, neck, and shoulders. I know it can be really easy to start to use our head, neck, and shoulders to start the movement. When we start to feel that tension there, that means we're using that to get up versus our core. So moving nice and slow, maybe doing it without a weight for a little bit to practice that movement, to practice leading with our core and not our head. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right, glute bridge and marches are next. So we're getting ready. Feet underneath our knees, hip width apart. 3, 2, 1. So tucking our pelvis, driving our heels up. We want to make sure our heels are directly below our knees. If our feet are too close, we're going to feel it in our quads. If they're too far away, we're going to feel it in our hamstrings. If we find our Goldilocks, just right positioning, we're going to feel it in our glutes as we drive one foot into the ground and raising the opposite knee. We really want to use our core and our glutes. This is a great way to end the last workout of the year. Really working on everything. Lots of single leg, single arm, core work. 3, 2, 1. Definitely a full functional workout. All right. Last round coming up, starting with our rear foot elevated split squats. Getting ready. 3, 2, 1. All right. Here. Finding also our Goldilocks foot positioning with this one as well. Coming down, driving through our foot. Ending the year with arguably the hardest and my least favorite movement to do. I do like to have the weight on the opposite side because that one helps us with our balance, evening things out, but it also helps us work on the outside of our leg. So when we hold it here, our outside part is going to feel a little bit more, which is the part I find most of us struggle to hit. 3, 2, 1. It's definitely harder to hit the outside of the leg than it is to hit like the middle or the inside. So that's why I also like to hold the dumbbell on the outside. 3, 2, 1. All right. Last movement for our legs here. Well, I guess we have the marches, but last of these ones today and for the year. Which is crazy. This year has seriously flown by. I'm sure we are all ready for our weeks of rest. Hopefully they will be restful. It's really important to make sure we are recovering from day to day. So hopefully we'll get some time to get some outside time, some walks in, some extra sleep, maybe an extra workout or two, or maybe no workouts, and that's okay too. 3, 2, 1. All right, getting on the ground. We're gonna be on the ground for the rest of the workout today. We got our half get-ups first. Getting ready. 3, 2, 1. But it's definitely okay if you need a full break to take a week or two off of workouts. That's totally okay. Sometimes our body just really needs it, especially if we're stressed out from work. Sometimes if we're stressed and we do more things on our body that cause stress, like working out, it can sometimes derail our progress because we're just digging ourselves deeper into a recovery hole. Take this time. You can even maybe do some, mindfulness activities. Take some time for yourself for sure this holiday season. Think about your goals. Give yourself a mental timeout. 3, 2, 1. And also, gotta say this about nutrition because it's a time of food and holiday parties and family parties. 3, 2, 1. It is okay to eat the food that you love this holiday season. So don't worry about it because it's only a few meals out of the year in retrospect. So let yourself enjoy these next few weeks and get right back to it in January. So if you have any questions about nutrition or your fitness goals or anything, let me know. But it's only comes around once a year. So don't restrict yourself. Eat what you like, enjoy it, and savor it. Savor the time with your family, with your friends. 3, 2, 1. All right. Glute bridge marches, and then we're done. We are going to stay on the ground for our cool down. We are going to do a little bit of bretzel. 3, 2, 1. So ending with marches. Driving one knee up at a time. Really exhaling, driving the opposite heel into the ground. Great job. Really stay nice and tall. But I know it's really nice to have these few weeks off, so don't think about anything. Just enjoy yourself. And we'll come back refreshed for 2023 for some new workouts. 3, 2, 1, and that is it for today's workouts. Go ahead, grab a sip of water if you need it. And we're going to go ahead and do some pretzels. So making our way onto our side here, choosing whichever side you like. And I'm pretty sure we all know the checklist right now, but just in case, top leg coming up over and across our body. Knee and ankle stay on the ground. Those nice pops there. Bottom hand on top of our knee. Top hand grabbing onto the bottom foot or ankle. Inhale to prepare. And we're going to exhale, bringing our top shoulder towards the ground. Taking this time to slow our breath down. Release any tension we feel. And we're going to do one more breath. And as we finish our exhale, we can gently release our bottom leg and flip on over to the other side when we're ready. We have the same checklist on this side as well. So on our side, top leg coming up over and across our body, knee and ankle stay on the ground, bottom hand grabbing onto the top knee, top hand grabbing onto the bottom foot or ankle. Inhale to prepare. And exhale, bringing our top shoulder towards the ground. Relaxing all of our muscles here, letting our body sink further into the ground, further into the stretch. And one more breath here. And as we finish our exhale when we're ready, we can go ahead and make our way, rotating onto our back for our short guided breathing here today. So as always, one hand over our diaphragm, so right in between our ribs here, one hand over our heart. We want our belly breast here, so we want our right hand to rise either before or more than our left hand here. By breathing into our belly, we can really fill our lungs up with our diaphragm, and that's what the goal is, to really fill our lungs with the most oxygen and air we can flowing through our bodies, and that can help calm our heart rate and our mind and our body and our digestive system. It can kind of just help us relax and de-stress. So I want us to just practice a few quick breaths into the nose, really feeling our right hand expand. Exhaling through the mouth, letting our body sink further into the ground with each exhale. All right, so now that we have practiced a few deep breaths here, what we are going to do is we are going to do my favorite cadence here. So we're going to inhale for 6 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 10 seconds. This one is great for de-stressing, calming our body down, getting us into our parasympathetic nervous system. Perfect way to end the year here. So I'm going to count us out 2 times and then I'll be quiet for a few minutes here. So getting ready, we're going to inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So go ahead, keep that cadence as close as you can. My tip here is as we exhale, let a little bit out at a time so you can hold it for longer. So we don't just want to, like it's really hard to exhale all of our air out in 10 seconds. So nice and slow. Control your breath out. So I'm gonna be quiet here. And let's go ahead. Ready, one more breath. And after we finish that last exhale, we can gently start to wiggle our fingers and toes, move our head side to side. And when we're ready, return to a seated, kneeling, or standing position. But that is going to conclude all of our classes for 2022. So thank you for joining me. Great job today and this year. I hope that you enjoy your weeks of rest, that you get lots of rest in, good food, good time with family and friends. And I will see you in 2023.